Blacks refuse to help Mexicans with ICE raids, so this happens. All right, let me see. I'm curious on it.
So y'all want black folks to come and fight with y'all, come stand on the front line like we always have. But ain't this the same group that refuses to stop saying the N-word? This ain't the same group that was being racist in Zoe Spencer comments when she was going back and forth with that Hispanic creator? But now y'all want our help. Okay, interesting.
By now, you've heard about the rallies against the ICE raids,
of course,
that have been going on across the country.
I'm gonna be honest with you, every single one of these are idiots. Every last one of them is an idiot.
Of course, these rallies started in Los Angeles, and now it's spread all across the country. Big cities like Seattle, New York City, and Chicago have responded to the ICE raids with many protests. But that's not the most important thing. Many of these immigrants that will be going back to their country or being detained are from Hispanic or Latino backgrounds, and that is important. The Hispanic community is now the #1 minority group, while the historic #FBA or African American group is now #2. But something is different this time.
Damn, that's crazy to hear that, to be honest. The whole dang world has heard of this nonsense. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been watching the entire thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Every single one of them are retards. Even in the VTuber community, people are trying to do stuff for this thing.
These protests, the historical Negro or African American community, now known as FBA. Black Americans are sitting this one out, and the Latino community are pissed.
How can you lack so much compassion? What if your mom, your dad, was immediately just taken from you?
They're not. Because they're there illegally. Well, they're there legally. Legally, sorry.
As a white person, as a black person, as anyone, how can you just accept that?
Because some of your people are here illegally and they're not paying taxes. I'm just saying.
This is not... Bro, this is so unreal, and how can people just lack compassion? How? Why can't you just imagine yourself just waking up one day with your family not there anymore? So LA businesses are getting...
My family would be a-okay because we are, we are in our country legally, we follow the process for, to stay where we're at, I'm just saying.
Raided by ICE, or some people that are wearing stuff that says ICE on it with their faces all covered up. People are getting ran over. Shots are being literally fired, literally. And this is supposed to be life right now.
Okay, and?
We're not gonna get treated like humans because they don't see us like humans. They lack compassion.
And while Latinos are making the call, they're not alone. They do have some support in the African American community.
All right, this message is for my brown people. And although us black folks decided to sit this one out because we did try to warn y'all at the polls, we do see that it's f***ed up. California is a blue state. 66% of Latinos in California voted against Trump, but it's not enough. You gotta work on your people that hate us. Then you gotta rally your people because they hate you like they hate us. And don't tell me this is not about race. There's over 500,000 undocumented immigrants in America from Poland or Russia or Germany, the UK, Italy, Ireland, all over Eastern Europe. But they're not joining the protests because they're not being targeted. America has always been obsessed with race. You burglarize and steal someone's home, make laws that only protect you, then get upset when they want to move back in. Talking about, we need to protect our borders. Most of you never even met a Mexican American, and if you have, they're probably doing a job that you would never want to do anyway.
But wait, there's more.
These ain't criminals. They're snatching up students and nurses and builders and farmers, electricians and plumbers. They got armored vehicles pulling up on line cooks. You're separating mothers from their children and telling people who've been here for decades to just go and start a life somewhere else because you're uncomfortable. In their land. You just took their and was even too lazy to change the names. It's still
Hey,
San
Voci.
Francisco, San Diego, San Bernardino, Ventura, Calabasas, Rancho Cucamonga.
I'm gonna be honest with you. All the stuff that he was just talking about literally went into one ear and left the other because I'm not paying attention to dumb people. I'm sorry. You know, I'm just not really like, you know, I'm not really paying attention to dumb people and their logics.
A lot of African Americans don't believe in this so-called black and brown coalition because they've seen time and time again as they believe they've helped Hispanics get rights. At the same time, their rights have been dwindled or diminished in America. And they don't want to continue to go and just give all of their support to a group in which they feel doesn't give anything back.
Black people in LA, mind your business. Black people in LA, mind your business. This don't got nothing to do with us. ICE and the National Guard being in LA has nothing to do with us. I don't understand rallying behind a whole bunch of people that hard ER you. They don't even like you for real. Everybody want to make their problems our problems. It's tired. It's tired. This don't have nothing to do with us. Sit there, watch, look. Don't go out there. Go home. Go watch the NBA finals. Go do something that's black related. Go have a cookout. Go do something black. Like, this don't have nothing to do with us.
If you guys don't know, Los Angeles, especially in South Central in areas like Compton, where African Americans dominated, eventually had the influx of Hispanics into the city. And then you had certain evidences of Hispanics attacking blacks and even trying to run blacks out of neighborhoods.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. Hispanics are racist, man.
For those of you who are from California, like myself, you understand this very well. Especially in Southern California, which there is a very big divide between blacks and Latinos. It's not so evident in Northern California, like Sacramento or the Bay, where blacks and Hispanics, you know, typically get along more in Northern California. But in Southern California, it can be a war, and it has been a war, with a lot of African Americans losing on that side. Now, the same people who were telling, you know, blacks, hey, listen, you know, we're taking your jobs, you know, hey, we're starting businesses, you guys are this, you guys are that. Now, all of a sudden, you're asking for help when you were not even caring about these same people who have helped you get far in America. You even had John Leguizamo, a guy who got his start in black comedy as a Colombian. He says interesting things like this.
Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the fuck you think you is?
So here you have John Leguizamo, a guy who started, like I said, in black comedy, in many black comedy circuits. He's using the same terminology that many historical African Americans have used by saying, we built this country, we suffered in this country. At one point, he says, we're the oldest minority ethnic group in this country. And these...
All right, let's search it up right now. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Let's see. Let's try Mexican. Mexican. Because that's pretty much is what it is. Mexican. Let's see. So the first documented arrival, the first recorded arrival of enslaved Africans was in the English colonies in Virginia was 1619. Mexicans first arrived in the president of New Mexico in 1598, established Santa Fe in 1610, and was before English settlers landed in the Plymouth of Massachusetts. Let me see. So therefore, the history of Black people in the U.S. is deeply rooted and predates the foundation of the nation. The history of the Mexican Americans in certain areas of the United States can be traced back further, even predating the arrival of English colonists. Well, there you go. Well, there it is. It is what it is. Let me see. So, let's see. That's probably not the best way. Let me see. I wouldn't say Spain because Spain is its own thing. I'm trying to say Mexico, like Mexicans. He's trying to give me Spain. Africans arrived in the territory that is now the United States before Mexicans did. Here's why. Africans enslaved arrived in America as early as 1501 in Spanish colonies. The first recorded, wow, that's funny, Spanish colonies. Remember that, Spanish colonies also enslaved African Americans. The first recorded arrival of the enslaved Africans to the English colonies that would become the United States was in 1619 at Point Comfort, Virginia. This began race-based slavery and the foundation of the African American population in the United States. Mexican American history began after the annexation of northern Mexico in 1848. Following the Mexican-American War, Mexican citizens in the ceded territories became U.S. citizens at the time. The 1619 arrival marked the pivotal moment in the history of African Americans in the English colonies that would later form the United States. Mexican American history is a distinct group within the United States, is tied to the events of 1848. So there you go. That's what I was trying to find. Yeah, Proto-USA isn't the Americas because they forget about the entire other continent south of here. Mexicans are mostly native to South America, sharing the long heritage of Mesoamericans and the Spanish colonists. Yeah, which is kind of funny, right? This is just like, because that's what I was trying to find, because they were giving me Spain, and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Mexicans, you know? That's what I'm looking for. So yeah.
These are things that typically Black people used to say, all right? And now they're saying it, completely diminishing the contributions from the historical Negro community or hashtag ADOS community or the African American community. All of these are the same. And so this has really pissed off Blacks. But what's more important to understand, guys, is that even Hispanics are starting to agree with African Americans.
Black people are tired of being a bank where everyone keeps making withdrawals and no one ever makes a deposit.
Latina's response to the Black community not wanting to step in.
And I want you to think about that. If that was your setup, would you still want to give? Especially for those of us in the Hispanic community, because it's about patterns that we've inherited and the harm that we've ignored. Me, myself, I'm Puerto Rican. I've seen how anti-Blackness and colorism still show up in our homes, in our language, in our media, in our families. In many families, darker skin is treated like a disadvantage. When solidarity is needed, hesitation shows what's been internalized, and too many of us were raised to believe that aligning with Blackness meant losing something: safety, opportunity, acceptance. And we were taught the proximity to whiteness would protect us, that staying quiet was safer. So if we don't unlearn that, we end up repeating the same harm.
And the most damning evidence is going to come right now.
La comunidad que nos va a sacar de este hueco se llaman los negros americanos. 100%. African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only one with the experience of civil matter. They are the only one que tenían el esclavo ahí mismitico. They are the only one that are not going to get deported anywhere, and you cannot put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out, because it is not. I do. We didn't do.
I get it,
masses,
but I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them.
It's kind of hard to understand because she has a really, really, really thick accent. So hold up. She has a really, really, really thick accent, so it's really hard to understand. Let me see. So 2 Cuban women defend and agree with Black Americans who for not coming out to the protest with the Latin community. She says her community doesn't support ours. Okay, yeah, okay. It's because her accent is so thick. It's so hard to understand it.
Not put them all in jail. So African American community, which is the community that is stepped on by Cubans, the most are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American community that has not come out, because it is not. I do. We didn't do.
I get it,
masses,
but I don't.
Me and you support, but in masses, we didn't support anything that was going with them. Latinos look at Cubans specifically. I'm not gonna talk about any other community because I'm not part of that community, even though I'm a Latina with them. Cubans talk shit about African Americans. Cubans did not support African Americans. Cubans think that they all victimize themselves, that of this, all of that. African Americans are the only ones that are going to save your ass as Latinos. So you better start kissing. If you're going to kiss some ass in this country, you better kiss some black.
Now I want to get back to what the Puerto Rican lady said initially, that, hey, nobody wants to be making deposits and getting nothing back. And that is typically what happens with, blacks trying to support other groups or other agendas.
Yeah, of course.
And the same thing is here. The lady from the Cuban community says, listen, we don't care about them. We too care about them. We're going to be honest. We don't do anything for the black community. We don't give any reason to want to be with them. And the same thing that the lady from the Puerto Rican community said. She said, listen, we want to be closer to whites, and associating with blacks when they have issues, we are typically quiet. And now that it's against us, we want their help because now we're the largest minority group, and now we're getting what they used to get. Instead of the riots and stuff like that when it came to, the Jim Crow laws and segregation laws. Oh no, they're not after African Americans anymore. Now they're after you, okay? So now they're after your people. And as the brother said, some of these people probably have to be innocent, and it is a shame if they're innocent and they're illegally, but it doesn't matter because the whites, and I'll be honest, I think whites are threatened by Latinos, some of them at least, because of their growing numbers and their growing fame and stuff like that. And then, a lot of the Latino community that I have witnessed, many of them are cool, but hey, listen, this is this thing of ours over here. And so, hey, where are the Latino actresses? Where are the Latino actors? They're not moving it. When it was the Black Lives Matters, even though we're a lower number than them, but you can see that we were able to galvanize larger than what the Latino community could do, especially when it comes to our celebrities. Like, African Americans still have more pull in that way as far as making something move and making something shake. But hey, you're not even seeing any black athletes, black actresses, actors, for the most part, coming to the side of the Latino community, because secretly a lot of people have been feeling like this for a very long time in the country. And like I said, it may not be right for everybody, but listen, a lot of blacks are not going to complain about the competition being removed, especially when we didn't view these particular individuals as competition before, and it was even going on when I was a kid. I mean, when I was going to Benjamin O. Davis Middle School in Compton in the 90s, I mean, you had there was a big beef between blacks and Mexicans then.
Yep.
I mean, it's gotten worse over the years. So, hey.
This is true. I've actually have seen, like, actual beef and squabble against the blacks and the Mexicans. So, yeah. This is where this isn't even a racial issue. This isn't some oppression of Latinos in the U.S. It's funny because, like, I've seen this. I've actually seen this in real life.
The black community is going to continue to sit it out because why? We feel that ain't nobody looking out for us. Because when it comes to us, we all we got. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again.
It's very interesting, to be honest, of how these people are. Like, they're trying to ask or so, request and help their stuff from the black community, but nothing's happening, you know? Yeah, it does. It does tend to turn like that. But even then, at the end of the day, he like he's not wrong. There's actually been, like, Hispanics don't like black people. Like, Hispanics, like, straight up, Hispanic people are racist, bro. Like, I'm not lying. I'm literally not lying, bro. Especially Mexicans, bro. I've seen some very racist Mexicans, bro. Straight up, like, no joke. Like straight up, no freaking joke. I've even seen Salvadorians, like, racist. I've seen some other. I even seen, like, a Guatemala woman or so being racist too as well. Like, I've seen it all, man. I've seen it all. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. But yeah, overall, like, I still think every single one of these people are stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every single Hispanic over there doing these riots are stupid. Also, the older white folks, you know, the older ones, right? Like the super late grandmas and the grandpas and everything like that, right? They're also pretty dumb too as well. So that's all I gotta say. Yep. As much as I respect my elders, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're not very smart or intelligent, you know? Yeah, no, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? I feel like the Democratic side is just more emotionally charged, and they're losing a battle. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. It's not Kick, it's YouTube. God, Hazu, I swear to God. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video, and I'm just gonna sit back. I'm just gonna enjoy this show and just watch the entire shit show happen, to be honest. Hey man, just round them all up and just arrest all of them, in my personal opinion. I say just arrest them all, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And peace. It's not Rumble.